Finding missing angles using trig. It's pretty easy. You just got to make, the only complicated part here is, really it's just calculator button that you need to push before you start putting in your fraction. You'll understand as soon as I get into this. So what we're going to do is we're going to find this marked angle here. And basically what we have to do is understand where that 12 and 24 is. That's how we figure out which buttons we're pushing. And if we look at that angle on this problem, we got an opposite and we got a hypo. Therefore, I'm picking this guy, sine, opposite and hypo. That's why I'm picking sine. So, when we find an angle, we are going to use that second button before we put in this case, our sine button. Now, when you do that, this is what you should see on your calculator screen. This is the function to find an angle measurement. So what we do here is we're going to hit second sine, and then I'm going to put in opposite over hypo. And when I say over, we're going to use the division bar. So we will say opposite over hypo equals, and let me get my calculator out and go ahead and do this. I get 30 on the dot, and we are good to go. Hope that wasn't too bad. So let's go ahead and take a look at the next one. I'm going to use this angle that I've identified, and I'm going to pick the location of these two pieces, 20 and 8, hypo. I'm not going to be using the opposite this time because it's blank, so I will be using adjacent. So I'm going to use cosine because it's adjacent and hypo. So once again, I'm going to be pushing second, then I'm going to hit cosine, and on my calculator I should have this there. So now I'm going to put adjacent divided by hypo. So I'm saying 8 divided by hypo. And in my calculator here, I am going to put, so I get a result, and hopefully you get the same thing, of 66.42 degrees. Works for me. So I hope that's not too bad on the second one. Alright, the next one we're going to have an example of tangent. So I got this angle identified. Everybody should recognize this as one of our Pythagorean triples. We should know that's a 5, but it doesn't really matter here. In fact, I'm going to erase it just so we don't get confused. So looking at this angle, I'm going to identify opposite and adjacent. Hypo is blank, so I'm not using the hypo, and that's going to be tan. So in my calculator, second tan, so on this screen here, I'm going to put opposite divided by adjacent equals, let me get my little calculator going, I got about 36.87-ish degrees. Alright, so I hope that's not too bad. So just remember, we got to hit the second button first, and we got to have that little -1 on our screen.